Hey Morningstar, I was driving to work today and encountered another first world problem. This particular one is about a daily occurrence. I fill up my travel mug with coffee, go to take a sip, but it just kind of dribbles out, kind of one drop at a time. The problem is this little hole on top of the mug, not the big opening where the coffee comes out, but the itty bitty one that's just above where the coffee comes out. I didn't know what the correct terminology was, so I looked it up on the World Wide Web, and here's the technical term: vent. Duh, right? But that little hole, that little vent is important because if it's clogged, I can't get my Java fix. But with just one little poke of a toothpick, the caffeine is flowing again. Hey friends, venting is important, not just with our travel mugs. Sometimes we need to vent and let off some steam, let go of stress that gets bottled up within us. You ever thought, though, about the best way to do that? The lady who supervised one of my counseling courses in seminary said that to get rid of stress, she went outside and threw ice cubes against a wall, which is great if you are home and your house is made of brick, but doesn't work well if you've got vinyl siding. The DJ on the radio show Monday morning cited a recent study which found that swearing was actually a good way to vent and get out stress. I tried cussing a blue streak at the church office this morning and got a lot of interesting looks. Just kidding. What would it be if we took instead our venting to God? I mean, there's a whole book of the Bible called the Psalms, and these are songs to God about what's going on in these psalmist lives. And many of them are called laments. And these laments are basically venting frustrations of why bad things happen to good people and why good things happen to bad people. And the feeling that God isn't present and pulling his weight. Otherwise, these bad things wouldn't be happening to good people and good things happening to bad people. Actually, I think taking our frustrations to God is a good thing because in my experience, when I take things to God, what happens is that first, I practice a little more self-control. I don't let my feelings run roughshod over my words and actions. I can't throw an ice cube at God, and it's definitely harder to swear in the presence of a holy God. Not impossible, but harder. Second of all, I'm reminded that I'm not alone in my frustration, that God really is with me, that he cares about me and all the details of my life. And then finally, as I spend time with God, I learned that most of the time, not always, but most of the time, the things that I'm venting about in the scheme of everything in life, in the world today, and in the scheme of babies dying of malaria and kids going home from school without food to eat and single parents struggling to work 2 jobs and raise their kids and domestic abuse and homelessness and sex trafficking, my stuff is actually pretty small. Today's language for this is first world problems, like one of my 2 cars needing to get a new catalytic converter put on it, or having my internet go down for an entire afternoon, or having my little vent hole get clogged up and having to blow into it because I didn't have a toothpick and coffee fly out all over my white shirt, which actually happened on Monday morning. Hey friends, listen. Our feelings aren't wrong. Please don't misunderstand. Feelings are real. Feelings are morally neutral. It's how we respond to those feelings that can either take us closer to or further away from God. So hey, listen, if you find yourself getting frustrated, please go ahead and vent. Let out the stress. But invite God into the process. It'll save you some embarrassment and probably an apology to a boss or a coworker or a child or a wife or a husband. And it'll remind you that you have a God who's a lot bigger than all your problems. And it'll remind you that most of your problems, at least that frustration that you want to vent about, is probably small stuff. It's probably a first world problem. If nothing else, the next time you look down at that little vent on your travel mug, you'll remember this video blog and thank God that despite all your frustrations in life, you have access to caffeine on the go. And it's in your cup and not all over your shirt. Hey, Morningstar, be the church this week. And I'll see you, as always, in worship this weekend. God bless you.